He might have qualified. Bang, Ben, boom! Wow!
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Archie the Great, back with another video, and today we are covering the point guard eligible 6'10" point guard Ben Simmons from the Philadelphia 76ers. He just dropped impacts this Friday, and we're going to be going over all things on how to be successful with this point guard Ben Simmons in NBA 2K21 MyTeam. So let's look over the contents that this deep dive is going to have. We're going to be looking over the key stats and badges, key moves to use, rules for using Ben Simmons when he has the ball, when he doesn't have the ball, shoes and badges for him, lineup suggestions, on versus on ball defenders, how to attack them, freelance suggestions, playbook suggestions, and more. I'm going to leave a timestamp in the comments so you can skip through all these different parts, but let's jump right into the video. All right, coming with 99 offense and 99 defense, we all know Ben Simmons is a 6'10" huge point guard, so obviously he is going to have a mismatch against any other small guards. That's your first attack point. You got a smaller guy on you. You obviously want to take him inside, but that's not the only way you want to use Ben. He has a slew of other ways that we're going to be going over to make sure you're getting the best out of him. Looking at his stats, his drive and dunk, his ball handle, his defense, his rebounding, his speed, his strength. Everything about this card is pretty much top notch. The only real flaw he has is his shooting, which shies people away from using Ben, but we're going to teach you guys how to get around that. Now, you're also going to be looking at his tendencies. Look at the shot contest. Look at the on-ball steal. He is literally a top card to have on your team if you put him in the right position. Now, his Hall of Fame badges, he has 15, gold, 28 of those. He comes with Hall of Fame Intimidator, Tireless Defender, Downhill, Quick First Step, Floor General, Dimer. He also has gold clamps, Rebound Chaser, a ton of different badges that just make him very, very unique. And we're going to go over some of the key ones as we get further in the video. But let's go look at his hot zones, and obviously you're gonna wanna get inside with Ben. You can take the mid-range shots, but we do want to get inside, and we wanna be dunking the ball or driving and dishing. And Ben's ability to drive to the lane and draw defense is gonna enable you to use moves like the spin dunk or the spin and kick out, because he does have gold bailout. But his speed with ball is really going to get you going because he does move very quick with the ball. As you can see, little side to side dribble. But when he's moving with the ball, I do recommend using that right trigger and pressing left or right away from your ball hand to do the between the legs move, because it is very fast to change direction. Or you can tap L2 to get a hesitation, and then you're going to press the right stick diagonal away from your ball hand to throw the ball behind your back. You can also do that when you're moving side to side. This gets you a little shifty move to be able to create more space for Simmons to be able to drive to the lane. You want to be able to get him driving and dishing, because that is where he is most effective. That hesitation also activates his quick first step, which catapults him to the rim and enables you to get inside and utilize his Hall of Fame posterizer badge, which is going to demoralize the defense. Every time you get inside with a full head of steam, if they don't stop you from getting to the rim, you are most likely going to get a dunk. They have to stop you from getting to the rim, which makes him so dangerous on the offensive end when he's going to the basket. He's going to draw so much attention and draw so many defenders to him. It's going to enable you to then be able to kick out to other players. Once you're able to do that, you're going to then utilize his other strengths. He has Hall of Fame bullet passer and Hall of Fame dimer. The ball is going to get out of his hands quickly, and he's going to give your teammates a higher chance at hitting their shots from outside. As you can see, we're greening on the transition because Ben Simmons is able to create that opportunity for his teammates by drawing the defense. He is also a very, very good defender like we talked about. Once he contests the shot, that Hall of Fame intimidator is going to come into play. Even if it's guys like LeBron or even Anthony Davis going to the basket, he can defend most anyone on the court. Another thing he's good at, he has interceptor and hard crusher. He's going to be able to get into those passing lanes, and when he gets a steal, he's going to lower your opponent's takeover boost. He's also extremely good on ball defense. Hall of Fame tireless defender in gold clamps. He is very sticky on ball no matter who he's guarding. And of course, he's still going to be able to get into those passing lanes because he has that speed and length. All right, before we get into lineup suggestions, let's go over the rules for having Ben Simmons on the court to make sure he's an asset to your team and not a liability out there. So Ben should be the only non-shooter on the court. off-ball movement or great spacing has to happen when Ben has the ball. Ben must be moving or screening when he does not have the ball. If they are sagging off of you, show them you're going to shoot the midi and be willing to run in transition. We're going to show you why these rules are important right now. Alright, in this part of the video, about to get into some rules that people broke while using Ben Simmons. So as you can see, this guy has Dwight Howard and Ben Simmons on the court at the same time. Two players that I can off-ball because they both can't shoot. So I'm going to sag off of Ben Simmons when Dwight Howard has the ball. I'm going to sag off of Dwight Howard when Ben Simmons has the ball. There's literally no way he can score inside with Dwight Howard because I'll just sag off Ben Simmons. There's no way he's going to score with Ben Simmons because I'm going to sag off of Dwight Howard. Unless he runs some kind of pick and roll or something magical, there's nothing that's going to happen. And since they're both going to be going inside for the pick and roll, that's still not going to matter. Once again, two non-shooters on the court. I'm just going to sag off of one of them to create a super tough offensive possession for the guy that I'm facing. He may still end up scoring somehow, but it's going to be way harder than it should be. All because of the lineup he chose to run. So let's go into another example right here. This guy's dribbling with Jimmy Butler, and as you can see, Ben Simmons is just standing on the wing. He's not doing anything. So I'm just going to sag off of Ben Simmons and stop the driving lane from Jimmy Butler, but also just stay inside and stop Simmons from scoring. Another play, he's running some pick and roll. I'm going to sag off of Ben Simmons on the wing because there's no way he's going to kick it out to him for three. So once he gets standing on the island again, I'm going to switch to AK and I'm going to clog the lane because I know he's not kicking it out to Ben Simmons there. This is why he should not just be standing. And then as soon as he decides to send them on a cut, it's too late and I get a steal. So let's look at the lineup that I actually run right now and some of the things that I suggest you do. So we're currently running Terry. Shout out to Terry. Just got him from the vault. Larry Bird, Andre Kirilenko, and Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis I run with Ben sometimes because he has Hall of Fame range or deep threes. He can stretch the floor very well. If I run some kind of pick and fade, I can pop it out to him from deep. He does not have to be standing close to the three-point line, which is great. Stretches the floor. But everybody on the court also has gold range or some kind of range extender. I could also run Kevin McHale if I wanted to run a better switch defensive style, which we'll go over to be able to switch everybody on the court because everyone's tall and has good interior defense. So I can switch all screens against any types of opponent. I love that. But we have to have shooters out there. I can't stress that enough. If you want to run something like this is going to affect you negatively. If you have Bobby Jones out there, which he can shoot, but he doesn't have range extender, so that's going to hurt you. You got Shaquille O'Neal at center, and then you go and put somebody like Andre Iguodala or something at shooting guard because he doesn't have range extender. All you're doing is just constricting your driving lanes, and you're not giving yourself a chance to enable Ben Simmons to do what he does best, which is drive, kick, get into the lane, and create situations where the defense has to collapse on him, and you can spread your offense out for shooters. You have to be able to do that. Now, you can also run Ben Simmons at the power forward position, which I do recommend sometimes. It's not something that I do personally with my team right now, but I would do it. So I would run Stephen Curry at point guard, and then I would have Ben Simmons as my power forward. Or I could just put somebody like Baron Davis or Dwayne Wade at point guard, and I'd be fine with that too because I could still run the offense with Ben Simmons if I wanted to, and then I still have shooters out there, and my defense is overall still pretty good. So if you wanted to run Ben Simmons at power forward, I do recommend this sort of lineup. Alright, so now let's talk about some shoe recommendations, and we're just going to go through and look at the stats, and we're just going to be looking at the weak points. So obviously, we got 3-point, mid-range jump shot, free throw, maybe block, interior defense, rebound, and those are the things we're going to look at upgrading, something that's not already boosted over 90 or even like a high 80. So I personally want Ben Simmons to have interior defense higher, his ball handle, and some rebounding, but now I get an extra plus with the driving, layup, and speed with ball. So I personally go with these KD 13 hypes. If you want to increase like his mid-range jump shot three-pointer, I would go with something like the new Kobe's that just came out, or something that boosts his three-point. But I would also recommend increasing his mid-range shot if you wanted to, using these Zoom Freaks. I'm personally going to be using the KD 13 hypes, but honestly, just look at what you want to increase on your player based on what they currently don't do. So as you can see, right now my ball handle has been increased to a 93. My interior defensive rebounding has been increased, and I am getting a higher speed with ball. All things that I think are going to make my Ben Simmons way better than he already is. And that is the point of putting the shoe on your play. You're just trying to increase what they don't do as well. He already does some things very well. I don't want to make those better, like his dunk or anything like that. But to make him faster with the ball is actually going to make him more elite. To make him more of a defensive player inside is going to make him more elite. So those are the things that I look at. Now, my coach is another reason why I chose what I did, because my coach already gives him a 3-point boost, already gives him some lateral quickness, perimeter defense, and steal. So I wasn't going to put any shoe on him that also increased those, because I get that from my grit and grind coach. That's going to be unique to whatever you're going to do with your team. Figure out what your coach is, and then get a shoe that does possibly something different or even further enhances that. All right, now let's look into some of the badges I recommend putting on Ben Simmons, starting off with Rim Protector, which I think is a very good badge for him, and it's just going to increase his ability to block shots and doesn't allow him to get dunked on as much, just in case you switch on to a big. I think that is very, very important, because if you're playing a switch style of defense, and if you're going to do any kind of chase down blocks, he's going to get a takeover boost for it, so that is dope. Another one is going to be post lockdown. Again, if you're going to have him guarding somebody big, you don't want them doing any kind of post moves on him. So you want to put at least silver. I would recommend gold post move lockdown on him. So I'm actually going to be purchasing this right now, because we are going to actually be putting that on our Ben Simmons. And some other badges that I am going to be recommending is definitely handles for days. You want to get handles for days for Ben Simmons, because if you're going to be dribbling the ball with him as your main guard, and he's going to be going up and down the court doing different types of dribble moves, you do not want him to get fatigued. Now, this is a very expensive badge, but I do recommend it. You do not want to be losing fatigue when dribbling the ball with Ben Simmons. And my last badge recommendation is going to be tight handles, because I do think that you should be able to break down your defender when you're dribbling the ball with him, and this badge improves your ability to break down your defender. So it's a no-brainer. You want to be able to get back by your opponent when you're dribbling the ball with Ben Simmons, so I highly recommend picking up tight handles as well. All right, now we're going to jump into a freelance suggestion to really help you guys get the most out of this Ben Simmons. This is Point Freelance. I have already gone over this before. I will leave a link in the description of the full Point Freelance video, but it's pretty much like Hawks Freelance. It gives you an opportunity to 5 out, 1 in, but it allows you to have some driving lane on one side of the court while there's off-ball movement on the left side of the court or right side of the court. So make sure you go into your options, select your Point Freelance as your freelance, make sure you hit that timeout, and select your sets as Point Freelance. You can also use Hawks with the pass and screen away, but I wanted to give you guys something different. Now, Hawks is going to give you that 5 out. Point is still going to allow you to 5 out after you call a screen, but the action looks a little bit different. If you want to run a series, I also do recommend the Iverson series with Ben Simmons, because it allows you to drive to one side of the court while your guard is running off screens to create an opening for a 3-point opportunity, so the defense has to worry about multiple things. If we look at this replay, you can see we have 3 players on the right side of the court, and we have Bird on the left, creating a driving lane for me on the left side. I can kick it out to Bird if needed, but on the right side, we have some off-ball movement with Porzingis setting that down screen for our guard, enabling us to have a driving attack and a off-ball screen attack, attacking the basket and attacking the wing at the same time. All right, now we're going to go over a couple options and why this is effective against user defense. And as you can see right here, this guy has been trying to jump these double screens because I've been running this against him. And what this does is creates me going up against the CPU to the basket with Ben Simmons in a poor matchup for him. And I'm just going to be able to take that layup to the basket every time. Pretty much just taking what the defense gives and staying efficient in our offense. So we're running this again against somebody else. This time we could have gotten the lane off the drive, but we chose to hit Terry off of those double screens on the left sideline right there. We get a nice 3 open look, easy buckets, and it's pretty much a pick your poison situation for our opponent. All right, this time same freelance. What I like about the Point Freelance, when you call screen and fade or screen and roll, you do get into a 5 out situation. Although they were a little late with it, we were still able to get it out to Kevin McHale for an open 3. In this play right here, I'll show you a better look at how the screen and roll with the Point Freelance works. You'll see Andre Kirilenko clear out to the other side once I call the screen, creating a 5 out or 4 out 1 in. And usually in a comp game, the defender on the right will help, but they can't because Karolinko was moving. And now we have a pick and fade and Ben Simmons going to the basket, creating an easy opportunity for us to score. All right, now let's move on to some different play and playbook suggestions for Ben Simmons. We're going to be covering 4 different playbooks, starting with the Rockets, but all of these plays I have covered in separate videos. I will leave in the description if you want the full breakdown. But let's start off with the first plays from the Rockets. Quick veer fist, fist 2 high, fist 5 quick, and fist 2 flare. Let's go over these against some different players that we matched up against and show you how they worked in game utilizing our rules. With the first play being quick veer fist, which I've gone over multiple times, which gives you a pick and pop opportunity, but it also allows you to get inside to attack the basket. So let's go through it again. Right here, he actually tries to help inside. We kick it out to KP for the deep 3. Easy money. This time we're going to go over fist 2 high. One of my favorite plays where I get a double screen at the top leading to a fade and a roll at the same time. We kick it out to Mikal for an open 3. I'm going through these plays kind of quick, but once again, they are in the description with the full breakdown. Right here, we get a nice pick and pop to KP. And then next time down the court, we are going to be running fist 2 flare, which is a nice screen and roll play, but also has off-ball flare screen to Cam Reddish, who gets wide open 4-3. So as you can see, the on-ball movement and off-ball movement together makes the opponent really have to guess what you're going to be doing. Right here, we're running fist 2 high again. Again, I like this play because it has multiple options in it, which is going to create an opening for either the fade or the roll to be open, which is what we like. Moving on again, fist 5 quick, which is our last play. We got off-ball movement happening. We going off of the small forward screen. Then the small forward is getting the screen for themselves, kind of like quick 4 horns flare. And that is another bucket. So now let's move on to our next playbook. We're going to be going over some plays from the Heat 2013, which I've already covered. Link is in the description. We're just going to be going over some of these quick, but this playbook has a ton of great plays that'll be useful for Ben Simmons. So let's go over a couple. You can leave quick 32 box flare in there, but I took it out and I added fist 71 down, fist 92 side, ISO 32 quick, which is one of my favorite plays, and we're actually going to apply that to Larry Bird. And then if you want to post Ben Simmons up, if you have a mismatch, add punch 12 spread, because that allows him to be isolated in the post against a smaller guard. So again, we got fist 71 down, fist 92 side, and ISO 32 quick that we're going to be going with. So coming to the court, first play, we're going to go ISO 32 quick, and this is going to be a down screen for Larry Bird. Some off-ball action. Larry pops out wide open from deep. See how far he is from behind the three-point line? Space in that court, and that is a green. Second play we're going over is fist 92 side, which is very similar to fist 2 high from the Rockets playbook. Get that double screen. You got the screen roll and screen fade at the same time. Larry Bird, green bean, wide open. This time, fist 71 down. You're actually getting a screen from your center and your guard. Dwayne Wade pops out, but nobody helps on Ben Simmons inside, and we get another easy bucket. Moving on to our next playbook. This time we're looking at some plays from the 98 Jazz, which is my most recent playbook video. Link is in the description, but let's check out what we're going to be using with Ben Simmons from here. All right, so the 98 Jazz is a great playbook for off-ball movement when Ben Simmons, once he passes the ball away, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, alley-oop opportunities, backdoor cuts, and it's very similar to the Iverson series with just a lot more cuts in different areas. I really like it. Once again, it's the last playbook I released. Go check it out if you have not yet. But Ben Simmons has a lot of opportunities to cut off ball, get some alley-oop opportunities for himself, create opportunities for other players on the team, and it's just a very good offense if you're looking for something different and dynamic. So look at these backdoor cuts he's getting, bounce passes inside. Doesn't matter who's on him, these cuts are going to enable him to get inside. And if you're very tricky with it, you can actually pass it around different ways, like right here when I get it to Karolinko after he back cuts and then throw an alley-oop to Ben Simmons. It is an awesome playbook to use for these type of movements. So if any of those interest you, definitely go check out the full breakdown in the description. And let's move on to the next playbook we're going to be using. This is the last one, and then we're going to go over how to use Ben Simmons without the ball. So now we're going to look at the Kings playbook and what plays I recommend from the Kings playbook, which I covered in 2K20. So we're going over quick 12 hammer snap, quick 3 Iverson hammer, quick 4 rip double, which is sort of like the point freelance, and then we're going to use fist 25 angle. So let's go over some of these plays, and then we'll show you how to use Ben Simmons without the ball. Alright, so let's run through some of these Kings plays and how different users reacted to them. So quick 12 hammer snap. I really like this one. We get a double screen on the sideline, and look at Bird getting a flare screen at the same time. And what's even cooler is that my boy Terry is going to come off a double screen to the left side of the screen if that doesn't work. So we have a lot of things happening. Simmons with the easy dunk, and we get our easy buckets just like we like them. This time we're running quick 4 rip 3 double. We get Larry Bird popping out of that point style freelance offense, and we get an open 3. Could have drove to the basket on that left side island, but Larry Bird was wide open, so of course we're going to take that. This time we got quick 3 Iverson hammer, which is kind of like the Iverson series. We're going to drive one way, and then we have a misdirection with Terry Dishanger wide open on the left wing. Green bean all day. We're going to run that play again because it is one of my favorites. And if they do not stop my drive going to the basket, we are definitely going to take those 2 points. We're going to take what the defense gives. This time we're going to run fist 25 angle, which is actually a handoff to Ben Simmons. One of the only time he can just be standing on the wing, because we're handing the ball off to him immediately into a screen and fade, which really trips the defense up. We get a wide open 3. We miss it, but that is okay. Everything still stands. I still like that play because it is going to work a lot of the time. Once again, quick 3 Iverson hammer. We see Terry Dishanger wide open outside. He doesn't get anything, but the play continues, and now we get a backdoor alley-oop for Andre Karolinko. All right, one more time for good measure. We are going to run quick 3 Iverson hammer. We're going to choose the side that Terry is coming off of. Misdirection. If they do not stop our drive to the basket, we are going to take the dunk. If they stop it, we're going to kick it out. Pretty simple. Now let's move on to the simple steps of using Simmons off ball. If he doesn't have any off ball movement happen, if he's not cutting or something, what you should be doing. I think you should be using Hawks freelance or point or something like that. But here's what you want to do. You want to use Simmons as if he is an inside center. You're going to press L1, select his icon, which is X, hold X, and he's going to set a screen for you. Now he's in a screen and roll situation. He can roll to the basket, and he has an opportunity to score. All right, so once again, another example right here. Larry Bird has the ball, and Ben Simmons is moving away. We do not want him just standing there on the wing. So we're going to select his icon, hold X, and he's going to be setting us a screen. Right here to keep the defense honest, I could shoot that shot with Larry Bird, so they have to step up. I drive into the lane, and now I can give Ben Simmons an alley-oop for an easy basket. But yo, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. This has been the Pink Diamond Ben Simmons deep dive and tutorial on how to get the most out of this card. I hope you guys understand how to use him in a more successful way now. This can be translated to cards like Magic, Giannis, Reggie Theus. Hopefully when the next Ben Simmons cards come out, you guys can still use these tips. This is not only for 2K21. This will be for all 2Ks down the line. We will be able to utilize Ben Simmons to his full potential. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like. I will catch y'all in the next one. This has been another RCA the Great production. Peace.